Listen to me carefully, because this right here might change how people treat you for the rest of your life. You keep asking, why don't people respect me? Why do they overlook me? Why do they only call me when they need something? But here's the truth nobody tells you. People don't learn your worth from what you say. They learn it from what you allow. Your value is not announced with words. Your value is demonstrated through behavior. Every day, without realizing it, you are teaching the world how to treat you. And if people keep underestimating you, ignoring you, or taking advantage of you, it's not always because they are bad people. Sometimes it's because you train them to believe you come second. Today, I'm going to show you 7 behaviors that quietly, powerfully teach people your worth without you ever raising your voice. Successful people don't waste energy defending every decision. When you constantly explain yourself, you send a silent message. I need approval. And the world respects confidence, not permission seeking. Not everyone deserves access to your reasoning. Not everyone earns an explanation. When you move with clarity and calm certainty, people start realizing something: you trust your own judgment. And when you trust yourself, others begin trusting you too. You don't argue with every opinion. You don't chase validation. You make decisions and stand on them. That quiet confidence speaks louder than any speech. Let me tell you something Steve Harvey says in different ways all the time. Your time is your life. When you allow constant interruptions, last-minute disrespect, and people wasting your hours, you're telling the world your life has no structure. But when you protect your schedule, everything changes. You arrive on time. You leave when necessary. You say, I'm not available, without guilt, and suddenly people begin planning around you. Why? Because discipline creates perceived value. Scarcity creates respect. If your time is always free, people assume you are too. The word no is not rejection. It is self-respect. Weak boundaries create strong resentment. Strong boundaries create strong respect. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you quietly tell people your needs don't matter. But when you calmly say no, without anger, without apology, you reset expectations. You teach people that access to you is earned, not automatic. And here's the secret. People may resist your boundaries at first, but eventually they adjust. Because confidence forces recalibration. Powerful people don't lose control publicly. Anyone can shout, anyone can react. But emotional discipline, that's rare. When you stop reacting to every insult, every criticism, every small disagreement, something incredible happens. People start choosing their words carefully around you. Calmness signals strength. You don't argue with noise. You don't chase drama. You respond only when necessary. Silence, used correctly, becomes authority. And the person who controls their emotions controls the room. Your growth teaches people how seriously they should take you. When you improve your skills, your mindset, your health, your appearance, your knowledge, you silently raise your standard. People notice effort, even when you don't announce it. You read more. You learn more, you evolve, and suddenly opportunities start appearing because the world responds to visible self-respect. You cannot expect others to value a life you refuse to develop. This one right here changes everything. The strongest message you can send is not confrontation, it's departure. When you tolerate disrespect, you endorse it. But when you calmly step away from environments, conversations, or relationships that diminish you, you redefine your worth instantly. You don't beg to belong where you are not valued. You leave peacefully. You move forward quietly. You protect your dignity fiercely. And people realize too late that your presence was a privilege. Real value is built in silence. The world celebrates results, but worth is created long before recognition arrives. When you stay consistent without validation, when you work while nobody notices, when you improve without announcing every step, you develop an energy people can feel. Confidence born from discipline doesn't need attention. One day people call you lucky, they call you talented, they call you successful. But they never saw the quiet commitment that taught the world how to respect you. Here's the truth. You don't demand respect. You demonstrate standards. Your habits are your introduction before you ever speak. Your boundaries are your reputation before people know your story. If you change these 7 behaviors, something powerful happens. People don't just hear your worth, they feel it. And once people feel your value, they move differently around you. So starting today, stop trying to convince the world who you are. Become the person whose actions make it obvious. Because when you truly understand your worth, you won't need to announce it. Or most people spend their lives trying to be accepted instead of trying to become confident. They walk into rooms already worried about what others will think, already preparing explanations for decisions nobody even questioned yet. And without realizing it, they give away their power before they even speak. The truth is simple. The moment you start seeking approval, you quietly tell the world that your belief in yourself is not strong enough on its own. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means certainty. It means making decisions based on your values instead of public opinion. When you constantly explain yourself, you are asking people for permission to live your life. And people can feel that energy immediately. They sense hesitation. They sense doubt. And when doubt shows up, respect slowly disappears. Strong individuals move differently. They listen, they observe, but they do not bend their identity to match every voice around them. They understand that not everyone will agree, not everyone will understand, and not everyone is supposed to. Approval is temporary, but self-respect is permanent. The more you depend on validation, the more control you give away to people who may not even know where they are going themselves. Think about it. The people you naturally respect are not the ones constantly convincing others. They are the ones who stand calmly behind their choices. They don't argue endlessly. They don't chase agreement. They make a decision, accept responsibility for it, and keep moving forward. That quiet certainty creates trust because it shows emotional stability. When you trust yourself, your body language changes. Your presence changes. You stop over-talking. You stop defending every action. You speak clearly and briefly because you know your direction does not require approval to exist. And something powerful happens. People begin to take your words more seriously because you are not trying to force them to agree. Seeking approval also traps you in fear. Fear of criticism, fear of rejection, fear of disappointing others. But growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Every successful person reaches a moment where they realize they cannot please everyone and still become who they are meant to be. That realization is freedom. You must understand that disagreement is not disrespect. Someone questioning your path does not mean your path is wrong. Often, people project their own limitations onto you because your confidence challenges their comfort zone. If you change direction every time someone doubts you, you will never build momentum. Learning to move without approval is a daily practice. It starts with small decisions, speaking honestly, choosing what aligns with your goals, and accepting that some people may not clap for you. And that's okay. Applause is not the measure of progress. Alignment is. The strongest energy you can carry is calm self-belief. Not loud confidence, not constant explanation, just steady conviction. When people see that you are comfortable standing alone if necessary, they begin to understand your worth without you ever announcing it, because real confidence is silent. It does not beg to be accepted. It simply exists. And once you believe in yourself deeply enough, the world slowly learns to believe in you too. The room or time is the one thing every human being receives equally, yet it is the one thing most people treat carelessly. You can lose money and earn it back. You can fail and recover. But once time passes, it never returns. That is why the way you treat your time quietly teaches people how valuable you believe your own life is. If you handle your time casually, people will handle you casually too. Many people complain about being disrespected, overlooked, or taken for granted, but they allow constant interruptions, last-minute demands, and unnecessary distractions to control their day. They say yes to everything, respond instantly to everyone, and sacrifice their priorities just to avoid disappointing others. Without realizing it, they send a powerful message their time is always available and therefore not very valuable. Respect begins with structure. When you organize your day with intention, you communicate discipline without saying a word. Showing up on time, finishing what you start, and honoring your commitments builds a silent reputation. People start recognizing that you operate with purpose. They understand that your schedule matters because you treat it seriously yourself. Protecting your time does not mean becoming cold or selfish. It means understanding that every yes carries a cost. Every unnecessary meeting, every meaningless conversation, every hour spent scrolling or procrastinating is time taken away from your growth, your goals, and your future. Successful individuals learn to measure opportunities not only by what they gain, but by what they must give up in return. When you begin setting limits, something interesting happens. At first, some people may resist. They were comfortable with unlimited access to you. But consistency reshapes expectations. When you politely decline distractions or reschedule things that interfere with your priorities, people start planning around your availability instead of assuming it. Discipline creates value because rarity creates importance. If you are always reachable, always free, always adjusting your plans for others, your presence becomes predictable. But when your time is structured and intentional, your presence becomes meaningful. People appreciate what is limited. Respecting your time also strengthens your self-image. Each time you follow through on your plans, you build trust with yourself. You prove that your goals matter. That inner trust increases confidence because you know you are living according to purpose rather than impulse. And confidence changes how others perceive you. Another powerful shift happens internally. You stop feeling overwhelmed because your day gains clarity. Instead of reacting to life, you begin directing it. You decide when to work, when to rest, and when to connect with others. That control creates calmness, and calmness signals strength. Protecting your time also teaches others accountability. When you arrive prepared and expect the same respect from others, standards rise naturally, conversations become more focused, opportunities become more serious. People recognize that you value progress over convenience. The truth is, people rarely respect what you neglect. If you constantly delay your own dreams while prioritizing everyone else's demands, the world learns that your goals are optional. But when you guard your time with intention, you send a different message. Your life has direction, and your energy has purpose. Time management is not just productivity, it is self-respect in action. Every boundary you set, every distraction you refuse, and every focused hour you protect quietly tells the world that your life matters. And when you start treating your time like something priceless, people begin treating you the same way. Edie, no, one of the hardest lessons people learn in life is that saying yes to everything does not make you respected. It makes you exhausted. Many individuals believe that constant agreement keeps relationships strong, avoids conflict, and makes others appreciate them more. But the opposite often happens. When you cannot say no, you slowly teach people that your limits do not exist. And when limits disappear, respect quietly fades. The word no carries power because it represents clarity. It shows that you understand your priorities and that your energy has direction. People who struggle to say no often fear rejection or disappointing others. They worry about being seen as rude, selfish, or difficult. So they agree to things they don't want, accept responsibilities they cannot manage, and sacrifice their own peace just to maintain approval. Over time, this creates frustration, resentment, and emotional burnout. Every unnecessary yes comes at the expense of something important: your time, your focus, your mental health, or your goals. You cannot build a meaningful life while constantly abandoning your own needs. The truth is, boundaries are not walls meant to push people away. They are guidelines that teach others how to treat you properly. When you begin saying no calmly and respectfully, you redefine your value. You show that your decisions are intentional. You demonstrate that your energy is reserved for what truly matters. And people start recognizing that access to your time and attention is not automatic, it is earned. At first, some people may react negatively. They may question your change or accuse you of being different. But often, their discomfort comes from losing the convenience they once had. Your growth challenges old expectations. Staying firm during this phase is essential because consistency turns boundaries into standards. Saying no does not require aggression or long explanations. In fact, the most powerful no is simple and calm. You do not need to justify every decision or provide detailed excuses. A respectful refusal communicates confidence. It tells others that you trust your judgment enough to protect your priorities. Learning to say no also strengthens self-respect. Each time you honor your limits, you reinforce the belief that your needs matter. That internal validation builds emotional stability. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself because you understand that self-respect allows you to show up better in every area of life. There is also a hidden benefit: clarity attracts healthier relationships. When you set boundaries, people who genuinely respect you adapt and remain. Those who only valued convenience begin to fade away. This process may feel uncomfortable, but it creates space for connections built on mutual respect rather than obligation. Strong individuals understand that kindness and boundaries can exist together. You can be generous without being available at all times. You can care about others without abandoning yourself. Balance is created when compassion includes self-respect. The ability to say no is ultimately the ability to choose your future. Every refusal protects your focus and redirects your energy toward growth. It allows you to invest fully in what aligns with your purpose instead of spreading yourself too thin. When people see that you value your own time, energy, and peace enough to protect them, they begin to value those things too. Not because you demanded respect, but because your actions quietly demonstrated it. And in that moment, your worth is no longer something you explain. It becomes something people understand naturally. Most people believe power comes from speaking louder, reacting faster, or proving themselves in every disagreement. But real strength shows itself in control, especially emotional control. The way you respond under pressure quietly teaches people how much respect they should give you. When emotions control you, others learn they can control the situation. When you control your emotions, you control your presence. Life constantly presents moments designed to test patience, criticism, misunderstandings, disrespect, delays, and unexpected challenges. The natural reaction is emotional: anger, defensiveness, frustration, or the need to immediately prove a point. But reacting instantly often weakens your position. Emotional reactions reveal insecurity because they show that external situations can easily disturb your inner balance. Calmness, on the other hand, creates authority. When you remain composed while others lose control, you shift the energy of the room. People begin to listen more carefully because your words are no longer driven by impulse, but by intention. Silence becomes powerful because it shows you are thinking, not reacting. Emotional discipline does not mean suppressing feelings or pretending nothing affects you. It means choosing the right response instead of allowing emotions to choose for you. There is a difference between feeling anger and being controlled by anger. Strong individuals acknowledge emotions but refuse to let those emotions dictate their behavior. When someone criticizes you unfairly, reacting emotionally often escalates conflict. Staying calm forces the other person to confront their own behavior. Your composure becomes a mirror reflecting their instability. Over time, people begin approaching you differently because they understand drama will not move you. Calm individuals are perceived as confident because they appear secure within themselves. They do not rush to defend every opinion or win every argument. They understand that not every battle deserves energy. This selective response creates mystery and strength. People start valuing your words more because you speak only when necessary. Emotional control also protects your decision-making. Strong emotions narrow thinking and lead to choices driven by ego rather than wisdom. When you pause before responding, you give yourself space to think clearly. That pause, sometimes just a few seconds, separates reaction from leadership. Another powerful effect of emotional discipline is stability. People naturally trust those who remain steady during chaos. Whether in personal relationships or professional environments, individuals look for emotional safety. When they see that you do not panic, overreact, or create unnecessary conflict, they begin associating you with reliability and strength. Learning this skill requires practice. It means slowing your responses, listening fully before speaking, and recognizing triggers without immediately acting on them. Sometimes the strongest response is a calm smile, a thoughtful pause, or choosing silence over argument. Silence is not weakness. It is controlled energy. Over time, emotional mastery transforms your reputation. You become known as someone difficult to shake, someone who thinks before acting, someone who carries quiet confidence. People respect what they cannot easily disturb. The truth is, anyone can react. Reaction is its choice, and choice is where power lies. When you master your emotions, you send a clear message without saying a single word. Your peace is not controlled by circumstances or opinions. And once people realize they cannot provoke you easily, they begin treating you with a higher level of respect automatically. Because calmness is not passive. It is controlled strength, and controlled strength commands attention without demanding it. Your value in the world is often measured by the effort you invest in becoming better than you were yesterday. Many people wait for recognition before they start improving themselves, but growth does not begin with applause. It begins with a personal decision, a quiet commitment to evolve, whether anyone notices or not. The way you invest in yourself silently teaches people how seriously they should take you. Self-investment goes far beyond money. It is about time, discipline, and intention. It is choosing to learn when others choose comfort, It is developing skills while others complain about opportunities. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every habit you build adds layers to your confidence. And confidence built through effort feels different because it is earned, not imagined. People naturally respect progress they can see. When you continuously improve your knowledge, communication, health, or mindset, your presence changes. You begin speaking with clarity because you understand more. You carry yourself differently because you are growing internally. You stop doubting your potential because you are actively working toward it. Growth creates evidence, and evidence removes insecurity. Many individuals underestimate how much small daily improvements compound over time. 10 minutes of learning each day becomes expertise. Consistent discipline becomes reliability. Gradual improvement becomes transformation. Others may not notice immediately, but consistency always reveals itself eventually. One day people suddenly call you talented or successful, unaware of the countless quiet hours spent improving when nobody was watching. Investing in yourself also changes your standards. As you grow, you naturally move away from environments and habits that no longer align with your goals. You begin valuing meaningful conversations over distractions, progress over comfort, and purpose over approval. This shift sends a powerful signal. You take your future seriously. Another important aspect of self-investment is self-care and personal discipline. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being communicates self-respect. When you maintain your health, manage your energy, and protect your mindset, you demonstrate responsibility toward your own life. People perceive this as strength because it reflects balance and control. Growth also builds independence. The more skills and knowledge you gain, the less you rely on external validation or constant support. You become capable of solving problems, adapting to challenges, and creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. Independence naturally attracts respect because it shows resilience. There will be moments when improvement feels slow and invisible. Progress rarely feels dramatic while it is happening. Doubt may appear and motivation may fluctuate, but disciplined self-investment continues even when excitement fades. That consistency separates those who dream from those who evolve. What makes self-investment powerful is that it changes not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. You begin trusting your ability to grow through challenges. You develop patience because you understand mastery takes time, and that inner confidence becomes unshakable because it is supported by action. Eventually, people recognize the difference. They notice your knowledge, your composure, your discipline, and your direction. Opportunities begin to align with the person you have become. Not because you demanded attention, but because your growth made you impossible to ignore. When you invest in yourself daily, you send a silent message to the world. You believe you are worth the effort. And once you believe that deeply enough, others begin believing it too, naturally, without persuasion, without explanation, and without noise. One of the strongest signals of self-worth is not how loudly you defend yourself, but how peacefully you walk away from what no longer respects you. Many people stay in situations that drain them, relationships filled with disrespect, environments that limit growth, conversations that diminish confidence, simply because leaving feels uncomfortable. They fear being misunderstood, judged, or alone. But every moment you tolerate disrespect, you quietly teach others that your presence can be taken for granted. Walking away is not weakness. It is awareness. It is recognizing that your energy is valuable and refusing to spend it where it is not appreciated. Strong individuals understand that not every battle must be fought and not every person must remain in their journey. Sometimes the most powerful response is distance. Disrespect rarely begins loudly. It starts small, ignored boundaries, dismissive words, lack of appreciation, repeated inconsistency. When these moments are tolerated repeatedly, they grow stronger. People naturally continue behaviors that face no consequences. Silence without action becomes permission. That is why leaving calmly and without drama resets how others perceive your worth. Choosing to walk away requires courage because it challenges emotional attachment and familiarity. Humans often hold on to what is comfortable, even when it is unhealthy. But growth demands movement. Staying in environments that constantly reduce your confidence slowly reshapes how you see yourself. Over time, you may begin doubting your value simply because you remain where it is not recognized. Walking away protects your dignity. It tells the world that respect is not negotiable in your life. You do not argue endlessly trying to convince someone to value you. You do not chase understanding from people unwilling to give it. Instead, you step back with calmness and allow your absence to speak. There is strength in quiet departure. No revenge, no anger, no loud explanations, just clarity. When you remove yourself from negativity, you reclaim emotional space. That space allows healing, focus, and renewed direction. You begin investing energy into growth instead of conflict. At the same time, continuing to work quietly on yourself amplifies this message. Walking away alone is powerful, but pairing it with consistent progress makes it transformative. While others remain stuck in old patterns, you move forward. You develop skills, pursue goals, and build a life aligned with your purpose. Over time, results speak louder than any confrontation ever could. People often realize your value most clearly after your absence. When your energy, effort, or presence is no longer available, the difference becomes visible. But by then, your focus is no longer on proving anything. You have already redirected your attention toward becoming better. This behavior also builds inner peace. You stop wasting mental energy trying to fix situations beyond your control. Acceptance replaces frustration. You understand that not everyone is meant to grow with you, and that realization removes emotional weight. Walking away does not mean giving up on people. It means refusing to give up on yourself. It means choosing environments that encourage respect, growth, and mutual value. The decision may feel difficult in the moment, but it strengthens self-respect in ways arguments never can. When you calmly leave what diminishes you and continue building your life in silence, you send a powerful message without saying a word. Your worth is not dependent on acceptance, and your future is too important to be negotiated. And once you truly understand that, you stop chasing respect because your actions naturally command it.